So a lot of my subscribers have been asking a lot of questions about the differences between Alipay and Tourpass. Well, in this video, I'm going to explain the differences and the similarities. For those of you that don't know, Alipay is one of the major e-payment platforms that you can use in China for sourcing, whether it's in Taobao, 1688, or Pinduoduo. If you want to receive weekly tips about sourcing from China or having a better lifestyle, here's the next spot. Consider subscribing before I post videos like this every week. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the differences first. Let's talk about the registration process. So for the Alipay Tourpass, it is meant for tourists. So the minimum requirements you need is a passport, a phone number. Now this phone number can be from your home country. It doesn't have to be Chinese. Just realize that Alipay has a list of countries that it supports, and I'll make sure to put this information in the description or in a pinned comment down below if you are interested to know if your country is supported. And some kind of a foreign bank card, Visa or MasterCard, and that is all you need for registration. Now, just because you go through this registration does not mean that you have a verified Alipay. It just means that you can use Alipay Tourpass that has completely different features. Now for Alipay, to actually get a verified Alipay, you will still need your passport, your phone number. It does not have to be a Chinese phone number, it can still be a foreign phone number, but here's the catch. You need a Chinese bank account to go through the full verification process on Alipay. Whereas on the Tourpass, it doesn't matter if you have a Chinese bank account or not, but you do need some kind of a bank account with a Visa or MasterCard. Now let's talk about the transaction limits of each one, which is probably what most of you guys are curious about. So if you're just starting out sourcing from China, for the Alipay Tourpass, each transaction can be no more than the equivalent of 2,000 RMB, or cannot spend no more than 6,000 RMB in a 3-month period. So let me give you some examples. If you want to buy something on Taobao that's worth more than 2,000 RMB, you can't buy it with the Alipay Tourpass because there is a limit. However, you can have up to 6,000 RMB into your Alipay Tourpass during a 3-month period. This regulation may change with time, but as of right now, this is how it stands. Note that during this 3-month period, you cannot change your bank card, your foreign bank card. So if your card expires or if it got updated, you cannot switch those cards and you have to wait until your Alipay Tourpass expires. Now going into a verified Alipay account. So this is that you have a Chinese bank account that's been linked to your Alipay. There are 3 levels of limitations on Alipay. The first one is level 1, and this is like an unverified account. Think of this as someone that just opened their Alipay but hasn't linked their bank card yet. Well, they can actually do transactions of up to 10,000 RMB each year. Then you have level 2. They have a verified bank account and a verified Alipay in China. Well, they can do transactions of up to 100,000 RMB per year. These are people that are typically new to the platform and have only been using it for a little bit amount of time. Then there's the final level, level 3. I fall into this category. It is if you've been using Alipay for years and you already have Alipay credit and you've been verified a long time ago. You can have transactions up to 200,000 RMB each year with no strings attached. Do note that after you reach the 200,000 RMB limit, you can still transfer money using Alipay, but you first need to transfer the money into a Chinese bank account, and then from the Chinese bank account, send it to that person using the Alipay platform. And there's usually a fee of like 0.01% for this, which is kind of a hassle and it does add up, but you know, they gotta make some money somehow, right? Another key difference that I kind of hinted at earlier is multiple foreign bank cards. So on the Alipay Tourpass, you can only have one bank card at a time in a 3-month period. If you want to change the bank card or if you want to update a bank card, you need to wait until your Alipay Tourpass expires. However, on Alipay, when you have a verified Alipay linked to a Chinese bank account, you can add all kinds of foreign bank cards. I think the limit is like 6 or 7 cards, and these cards can actually be used directly with Taobao and I think Pinduoduo too. Yeah, for WeChat Pay, for Pinduoduo it can work, not for Alipay. And you can make purchases directly on platforms like Taobao for e-commerce using your foreign bank card. but you can't do that with the Alipay Tourpass. Alipay Tourpass also works in limited shops that accept foreign cards. So like if you go to like McDonald's or in any retailer, then you can expect Alipay Tourpass to work in limited locations, especially if you're like in a market and they don't accept foreign cards, as in like their system doesn't accept it. You may get a notification that you can't use Alipay Tourpass. But if you're using Alipay, as long as you have a Chinese bank account attached, it will work 100%. Usually no problem. Even the foreign cards may work in it if you play your cards right. But to give you a more practical example, some suppliers may offer digital products for like games. If you want to buy like the newest weapon or whatever, I've had some subscribers that ask me about that. Well, if you're using Alipay Tourpass, that transaction most likely won't work. But if you're using Alipay linked to your account, then it will more likely work. Now let's go into the next topic, which is money transfers. Probably one of the most important for most of my subscribers. So if you're using the Alipay Tourpass, you can't transfer money to people from the Alipay Tourpass. They get confused big time with this. So how do you overcome this? Don't worry, I can put a video up here and you can look in the description down below on a video on how to give money to your suppliers using Alipay Tourpass. There's 3 methods that I've tried and that are proven, but it's not so direct and step by step. You also cannot fund your Alipay using your Alipay Tourpass information. Like you need to use a Chinese bank account to fund your account, unless you stay specifically in the Alipay Tourpass app. So now let's go into Alipay. Well, if you have a verified Alipay, you can actually send money to anyone in China. It doesn't matter where. You still can't top up with a foreign card. So if I want to top up my Alipay with my foreign bank account, it won't work. I mean, I've tried 2 or 3 times, it doesn't work. Same with WeChat. But at least you can send money to whoever you want, and you can receive money from whoever freely without any limitations, so long as they fall within the parameters I mentioned before, the level 1, 2, and 3, you'll be all right before they start charging you fees. So now that you know about the differences, let's talk about some of the similarities. So both support online shopping, like 1688 and Taobao. Alipay Tourpass and a verified Alipay account support that, no problem. As I mentioned before, if in China, most stores will accept the Alipay Tourpass, unless they specifically say, nope, we can't accept any foreign cards whatsoever, so your Alipay Tourpass won't work. And they both have great customer service. They actually have a hotline. I'll put the number up here and in the description below if you want to call them for any emergencies with your Alipay account. And they have a live chat. I'm not sure if it's 24 hours, but it can at least support maybe during business hours in China. You'll be all right. I've used them a lot, and a lot of my subscribers, I kind of directed them in that direction, and they were able to get their problem solved when they couldn't log into their Alipay account. Let's summarize everything so it's easy for you guys to understand. Check out this Venn diagram right here. So for the differences, Alipay Tourpass does not need a Chinese bank account to finish the verification, where Alipay does. Transactions on Alipay are a lot higher than that of the Alipay Tourpass. Alipay can buy on more platforms than Alipay Tourpass. And of course, money transfers. You can transfer freely within Alipay, but you have to go through a lot of loopholes and hurdles to transfer money using the Tourpass if you're not buying something directly online. Another thing for the difference is that Alipay does support currency exchange, whereas Alipay Tourpass will never do that. And again, you have to be a Chinese citizen to take advantage of this feature. For the similarities, both can support online shopping in China, which can actually benefit your business if you want to source from China. And both have awesome customer service support. And to give you guys a bonus tip, if you don't want to deal with any of this registration process, you don't want to deal with the headaches of limitations, having a passport, making sure your bank card is always up to date, never expires on the platforms, go ahead and consider looking at my website, borderlesscommerce.net. It provides you an easy venue to source from 1688 and Taobao directly without needing to mess with all those problems that I just mentioned before. But hopefully this video clearly explains the differences between Alipay and Alipay Tourpass. Consider following me on social media on my Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, especially if you're too shy to write down in the comments below your question. You can consult me one-on-one. If you found value from this video, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for weekly content about sourcing and having a better lifestyle in China as a foreigner. I appreciate the time you have taken to watch this video. Keep surviving. Catch you in the next video.